All right, so the secret to the universe is going to be in your lap. And we're going to use a block. Now, remember that yin is about acceptance. Sometimes you find yourself in a situation where it may not really be comfortable, but we all know it's temporary. So this first pose is going to be a little uncomfortable. So with that said, oh, look, here comes the secret to the universe. You're going to roll onto your right side. Now, as you roll onto the right side, it's going to be really important that you exaggerate the stretch between the right hip and your right armpit. You may want to come up and just focus on getting that stretch so that you can actually get the block between the rib cage and your hip socket. No. So it's actually going to go this way. That tall, yep. It does, doesn't it? So we're just going to start there and then lean as far forward over onto your side as possible and try to relax. You can bend your knees into your chest. Maybe that offers some comfort. Imagine that this is like one of those plane rides, right, where you've got the middle seat and you're just trying to find a way to like enjoy the experience as much as possible. Now, I'm also going to encourage you, because this is some myofascial release work, is to roll the block, to roll back and forth on the block. It's going to be between your hip and your rib cage. So you want to get into that space between. And this will also really give you some insight into the length of your actual waistline. So some of us have long torsos, but a short waistline. And you can discern that based on where your hip bone is in relationship to that last rib. So for me, it's like that big. For some of you, it may be really long. So this will be a little bit easier for you. But what we want to do is use some of this and breathing to start to loosen some of that stuff up. You feel it in your piriformis? Because that piriformis is, well, sort of works across the, there might be the QL you're thinking of. Intense. Yeah. So I'm going to encourage you guys to try to just take this time, enjoy the garden, the breeze, all the different sensations that are coming up, and sort of observe any mental chatter that arises. You can always support your head with a second block if you have one of those. Bailey, come over here and meditate. This is a good time to integrate your pranayama practice. Where you drag the air down the back of the throat. The tongue is in contact with the roof of the mouth, but the teeth are soft. And close off the glottis. And begin to fill up your lungs like a balloon. And on the next breath, we'll come back to center. Just roll right to the other side. We'll do good side number 2, the left. Yes, yes. Sensations are always an interesting experience, aren't they? One more breath here. And we'll come into the tabletop. That'll be our next pose. Now, the secret to this next one, because we're going to work on the shoulder to hip flexor to get into those muscles, is how your setup is. You'll really need to tuck your chin into your chest you can roll on to the back of your head. So extend your right leg out. Judy, you may want to switch directions. You'll sweep your left arm up towards the sky. So you extend your right leg out so it comes over towards the right side of the room. Follow Lisa. She's demonstrating beautifully. There you go, Mama. All the way, all the way. If you need to move over a little bit, that's fine too. The left arm goes up towards the sky. So spread the left arm underneath the right. You'll just rest the left shoulder on the mat and the left ear. Now just start there. Now you'll need to tuck your chin into your chest. So take your gaze towards your belly button, like really literally look towards your belly button. Yep, that's how deep it needs to be. And then start to roll more onto the left shoulder and onto the back of your head. And at the same time, your right foot will start to slide in towards your left hand. You got it, Amy. Keep going. Yep. You may need to move your ponytail just like that, Sarah June. You got it. Now, put a little bend in the right knee. Yeah, there you go. Let it start to just hover away from the floor. And again, you're just working on exaggerating the stretch in the back of the neck, the shoulder to the hip, getting into those lats. Now, the option is to rest the right knee next to your left armpit or keep it extended. That looks great, darling. You can take your right arm up over your head. You can take it as far over towards the left side of the room as you like. I encourage you to sort of experiment. So you want to round your back as much as possible. Judy, is it possible to round your upper neck a little bit more? Maybe looking back more? Yeah, there you go. Now, when you lower the right knee down, it's going to increase the intensity. So if it's a lot for you, keep the legs straight towards the top of the mat. There you go. And then it can support the stretch. Now, the other thing you should know is that if you take your right arm up over your head, it will also increase the intensity. So where you place those extra limbs will influence your experience. You just kind of keep working on rolling onto the back of the neck. And eventually your gaze will, just like that, Amy, will go towards the ceiling above you. That's how far you will roll onto the back. It's pretty common to fall out of this pose when you're first learning how to do it. So it's all trial and error. Now the whole idea is the back of your lungs are really exposed at this point because they're getting such a good stretch. See if you can take advantage of that. One more breath here. We'll take it back to tabletop position. Everybody breathe. So much here, pin drop in here. The next transition is the left leg goes out. The right arm will go towards the sky. We'll thread the right arm underneath the left, resting the right shoulder and the right ear to the mat. Tuck your chin in and look towards the back of the mat. Perhaps you even look at your belly button. You want to feel rounding through the upper back and the lower back, right around the tailbone. You slowly drag the left knee in a little bit closer if it's appropriate, until that left knee is resting in your right armpit. One more breath here. Slowly come back to tabletop. Just sweep your legs out in front of you so you come into a seated position. You may need to stagger yourselves a bit. The right leg will come out and the left leg will come in. Now grab your block. Someone call 911. Grab your block and you'll put it underneath your right knee, all right? Now there's a tendency in forward folds, right? Sometimes we have a very narrow mindset. We're just going to focus on the hamstrings, but in actuality, we're still focusing on the side body today. So as you inhale your arms up, I want you to exaggerate from your left hip to your left armpit, because that's actually what we're shooting for. And as you lean forward, see if you can reach beyond your toes. Now, initially you want to use spider fingers, and what that does is it helps you get out of your armpits and a little bit further into the lats. And I want you to connect with the sensations of your left hip flexor. So that might be the QL, might feel a little bit in the psoas, but the idea is you want to feel that left hip flexor. Now drop the left shoulder and the left forearm to the floor, and then bring your chin to your shin. So I want you to exaggerate the left side body, not necessarily the right side. And we're keeping a bend in the knee so that it supersedes any sensations you may get from your hamstring. Inhale your arms up. Sorry, I'm talking to people at home. And then twist over towards the right side of the room. There you go. Reach for your feet. There you go. Now drop the left shoulder towards the floor. Rest your chin on your shin. Judy, can you bring your right foot towards me? All the way. So it's just literally a wide-legged straddle. Now you may need to roll up the back of your mat to elevate your hips so that your hips are higher, or you could use that secondary block. And that should help with the rotation of the bones. Can you bring your right foot towards me more? How wide can you go into a wide-legged straddle? So bring your left leg all the way out. There you go. That's it. That's good. That's okay. And then just tuck the left knee in. Yeah, so that heel doesn't have to touch the groin at all, especially for you. It's just more about whatever we can do to get that left knee towards the floor. And then again, take a big breath in. Blaine, you got to drop the left shoulder. Left shoulder. Yep. So naturally, your mind's going to think, oh, I want to stretch out the right hamstring. And we would use this normally for something like that. But if we want to educate ourselves about the body and learn how to maneuver through the lats, which are really key to deep twisting or deep back bending, then understanding how the lats work is going to be pretty significant. And if you need a little bit of support, you can take your right arm and just take it behind you. So the only thing that's leaning forward is the left side, and the right arm is leaning back. And that sort of encourages body awareness. You can just rest that right arm down on the ground, because the idea is the left shoulder should be lower than the right shoulder. There you go. Every 15 seconds, your body creates new muscle memory. So perhaps you can gingerly adjust in the 2 or 3 minutes that we're holding this pose. Whether you're relaxing into the left knee a little bit more, the left lower back, left shoulder. We will come back and work on elevating the left shoulder towards the sky at a later time. Since right now we're just focusing on this one maneuver. Let's release. We'll just switch sides. We'll extend the left leg out. Bring the right heel in. And again, you want it to be a wide-legged straddle. Anatomically, it just offers, it's a closed twist. There you go. Now you're reaching up as high as you can, right? Move the fleshy part of your bum. See if you can get a little bit more out of those hips and then lean over that muscle. Just like we did earlier, now you'll focus on dropping the right shoulder towards the floor. The secret to softening is always going to be your breath, your inhales and your exhales. One more breath here. And again, we'll come back to that wide-legged straddle. You'll pull the right heel in. So I want to encourage you, a lot of times in this particular pose, it's the setup. So we have a tendency to compress before we lengthen. So I want you to think about you're trying to lean way beyond your toes as far as you can go, and then drop the elbow and the shoulder towards the right or the right thigh. That's what you're looking to do. So the left foot in. I'm sorry, did I say the right leg? To bring the left foot, the right leg out, left leg in. And you're gonna lean with your torso. So you lean over. You can even see yourself in the mirror, so you can get your armpit closer to your knee, because your torso is pretty long, right? Maybe you grab that 2-piece fingers, grab the big toe. You can use your head or your hand to support your head if you like, because you're trying to get into this side body right here. And again, you may need a block underneath the right knee, especially if you're hypermobile. Hint, hint, wink, wink, because the left arm's coming over and it's going to reach towards the big toe. You can also, if you have a block, place the block there and rest your head on the block. As long as that left arm comes up and over, that's what you're shooting for, because you're going to get right in here into that myofascia. You're going to be taller when you leave. There goes muffin tops. Is that what we call them? When you're ready to reach for that foot, you can always use a strap if you have one for a little bit of support. So the strap would wrap around the right foot. You can hold on to it with your left arm. Then consider rolling back and forth a little bit towards the back of the mat, towards the top of the mat. What that does is it starts to loosen things up a little bit. There you go, Amy, just like that. Now, initially, when you start doing this, you look towards the floor. And ultimately, you want to start to change your gaze. Maybe look more to the middle of the room. And then eventually, you'll look up towards the sky. All of these little micro movements change the sensations pretty significantly. So experiment. Blaine, where's your strap? And put it in that. There you go. It goes in the left hand. Yep. Yep. Good stuff, people. Good stuff. Looks good, Baldwin. Your spirit thanks you. Oh, more room in the inn. Don't let the right arm hold you back. So at some point you may notice that you can't go any further until you adjust the way you're using your right arm. Maybe it comes off the block. Yep, yep, yep. One more breath. All right, peeps. Let's take it to the other side. Banana's coming. Banana's coming. Left leg out, right leg in. Banana, banana, banana. You don't like banana? How is that possible? Everybody loves banana. Left leg out, right leg in. I don't even know what to say to that. Be a teacher after class. You don't have to do the ankle part. Yeah, it is a sweet stretch. And just like you did on the other side, like the left leg comes out, the right leg comes in. Then you stretch your left side body as far as you can towards the big toe. Yes, you can really get into that right side. You got it. Use your strap. The whole idea is the right arm's going to come up and over. Say hello to your lat. What I love about studying anatomy and teaching anatomy is understanding how muscles are all interconnected to each other and how this movement is influencing a series of back muscles because they're attached to the back of the humerus. You know, what you do or don't do with your head completely affects your experience as well. Whether you move back, you move forward, all these little micro movements, as tiny as they may be, may stir up quite a significant sensation. And the yoga teachers will say, what will you do with those sensations? Little micro movements. One more breath here. Chest up, ladies. Chest up. Chest up. Roll those boobies back. There you go. Let's release. Onto your back you go. Amen, amen, amen. Banana. That's where we're going next is banana. So you'll lie down on your back, which should feel pretty good at this point. Now make sure there's plenty of room above you so that you can maneuver your arm towards the right side of the mat. So literally, what I like you to consider doing is thinking of the action. So you're going to interlace your fingers. Literally lift your shoulder up and stack your bones over towards the right side of the room so you can start to feel that stretch to the right side. Now you may feel this more through the front body than you would the back body. You want your shoulders to be relaxed as much as possible. So really exaggerate it coming from the upper chest, not the armpit. Then take your fingertips, or excuse me, your toes over towards the right side of the room as well. Rest the left ankle on top of the right ankle. Now remember, this is all about the side body. So for some of you, it's going to be easier for you to maneuver through your legs than it is your upper chest. But I want you to concentrate on moving your upper chest over, not your arm. So you don't even have to use your arm. But we do want to get, just the shoulders over. Yep. Now you're looking to be in the shape of a banana. That's a beautiful banana. I'm thinking I want a banana split. Some of these bananas look so good. I did go buy bananas and a bunch of stuff for my smoothies. Yep. And then I found apple cider vinegar that's flavored. So good. Bailey, come here. Come meditate. Come meditate. Show them how it's done, honey. Show them how it's done. Oh, poor Lisa. Yeah. Now, I want to encourage you, once you feel comfortable, to start to take your gaze towards the left side of the room. And again, if we talk about little movements, this will change a lot of things that are going on internally. I've been doing some self-study, and one of the things that came up was there's a difference between loving ourselves externally versus loving ourselves internally. So what are examples of loving ourselves externally? Perhaps our hair, our makeup, our clothing, our skin. Loving ourselves internally, compassion, kindness, encouragement, patience. Always good to reflect on our nature. Can we love ourselves and our shortcomings unconditionally? And I do have a small request. If you choose to practice live stream, if you guys could sign in a little earlier, maybe 10 or 15 minutes, so that if we have any technical difficulties, we can rectify the situation before class starts. That would be really helpful. We don't know we have a problem until you sign in. We'll come back to center. We'll go to the other side. Don't forget to breathe. Sigh, moan, whine. What you got? Let it out. Right, Judy? Yeah, let that shit out. Go to the other side. So the left, so you got to take your entire, so what I like some of you to do, because your shoulders are so tight, is don't even try to use your arms. Move your entire torso towards the left side of the mat. Keep going. Keep going. Left torso. Yep, you too. Yep, you and Judy both. Left torso, left torso, left torso, left torso. Yes. Then maybe your arms come up over your head. No legs. It's more torso, less legs. So you want to feel your entire left side body getting shorter and your entire right side body getting longer. There you go. And then maybe you add the arms up over your head, because the idea is that the shoulders have to rest on the mat, or we just create more inhibitions somewhere else. Right? Right, short stack? No, I know. You're so stinking cute. Go get some unsuspecting soul. Now, when you cross your ankles, it'll be the right ankle over the left. Now, this increases its intensity level. So, again, if you feel like this is too much, rest the foot next to each other versus doing the additional pressure. as you find center. Just breathe into that. Breathe into center. And we'll start to pull our knees into our chest. Give yourself a big hug. And let's just roll back and forth a few times, connecting with all the space you've created along your spine. And we'll come up into a comfortable seat. Sitting up tall, 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 tall. And take a moment to really own the shift you've created in the last 60 minutes. And we'll bring our hands to prayer. Grateful for this new day, its beauty and its light, and a chance to begin again. May we all be freed from yesterday's limitations, and today may we be reborn. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace. From my heart to yours, namaste. Have a great day, peeps. Have a great day. Enjoy this weather. Oh, yeah. Perfect, right? You're welcome. May you be long and prosper. I'll see you guys later. Have a great day.